Hey, welcome to Nade Jump. I'm Mike Hollis Beasley.
I'm Skolaren.
And today we're going to be talking to you about some of the customization options we've seen so far for Halo Infinite. And so far, those options are looking like what, Skolo? I think you have the list over there with you.
That is correct, Kyle. So for what we've seen are the main staples we have seen in Reach: helmet, shoulder, wrist, knee attachments, etc. But we have seen some new ones come in. Gloves are now something we can customize. Body types, voices, AI, visor patterns, and prosthetics are all options that we will be able to choose for ourselves.
One that's really interesting to me is the armor cores. What it's seeming like is the armor core is going to dictate your primary suit and function of your Spartan's customization. That being said, we've seen 3 armor cores so far confirmed for Halo Infinite. First up is Mark 7. Brand new armor set, brand new armor in Halo Infinite. Seems to be that Mark 7 is a summary of new armors 343 is introducing and rehashed and redesigned versions of their 4 and 5 counterparts. So far, we've seen different options regarding different customizations on this platform. That being said, armor cores seem to be in your customization options separate from other attachments. When I'm done talking about this, Skolo will kind of pick up and talk a little bit more about that later. As of right now, let's focus on the armor cores and the armor cores themselves. Armor cores tend to be your undersuit, your main torso, your main arms, your main legs, your codpiece. The overall main silhouette of your Spartan is dictated by these armor cores. That being said, they do come with some benefits. Armor cores allow you to switch up your base armor. From what we've seen so far, they also have the Mark 5 armor core, or as we all commonly know it in Halo Reach, Mark 5B platform, the prototype platform based off of the Halo 1 armor. And what we've seen so far with that is also chest options. The chest options exist separate from armor cores themselves and pertain particularly to your torso, the front plate. They don't seem to change most of the back unless, in Reach they have. Certain Reach options offer like ghillie wraps and, butt packs and whatnot, grenades on the cod piece. Those all seem to be associated with the chest option. That being said, what we do not know is if chest options are independent or universally applied via different armor cores. So far from what we've seen, though, it seems to indicate that whatever chest options are available in the Mark 5B category of armor cores are only going to be available for that armor core, and whatever torso options, chest options are available for Mark 7 are only going to pertain to Mark 7. That being said, there's a third armor core that they have shown us, and that's the Yorori Samurai armor, the Hayabusa killer, if you would call it. So far, we've seen the full set of that, and the armor core of that looks really awesome. We see some chainmail introduced and whatnot, and it overall makes you look like a very, very cool samurai. That being said, you're possibly going to be able to put the different shoulders, knees, gloves, and helmet on different Spartans because there are other customization options that are independent and work universally. Skolo, what are those?
Those options include our helmets, shoulders, knee pads, wrist attachments, helmet attachments, visors, but with some new additions: gloves, body types, voices, AI, our own prosthetics for 4 of our limbs are all new options that we have seen coming in. Of course, there are weapons and armor core coatings, but we've already seen so much talked about them, we really don't feel like we should gloss over them too much.
Yeah, in the conversation of armor coatings, it seems like they're going to be having those universally with a variety of sets applying to both vehicles, your Spartan, and his weapons. They've already talked about that plenty enough. I think we're all pretty familiar with that. That being said, these prosthetics are pretty interesting. They don't just stop as a robot arm like Halo Reach. There's going to be different types, whether it's your hand, below the elbow, or above the elbow as a full arm. And we've also seen you can mix and match which arm. We've also seen prosthetic legs. So potentially we could see someone walking about missing all 4 limbs. Wouldn't that be ironic if they equipped the DOD?
That is right.
The guy's either really good or really bad at his job at that point.
No, that's going to be a fun armor combo.
Oh yeah, that's going to be amazing. That being said, overall, that's what we know so far about armor. Whether everything's been confirmed or not, that's up to 343 to release more information. And as of right now, looks like what we've seen so far is entirely solid. It's going to be awesome. We're going to have plenty of options. I know we're all a little scared with our armor coding on how 343 is going to handle this, but from Halo 5 to this, it's a huge upgrade. I mean, it went to just be what? Body and helmet, visor, to now everything. I mean, it's like reaching more. And the more, I want to emphasize that, because with these armor coatings, we could see plethora of armors being brought in, new designs entirely integrated. It's amazing. One of the cool things I'm excited for is what this means potentially. Like, this is more or less speculation, but it's on a good account, because how they're introducing this armor core system, we could even see armors from the past, including Mark IV. And with Mark IV returning, that also means there'll be added helmet attachments and chest attachments to decorate Mark IV with, and also pick and choose the Mark IV gloves, knees, shoulders, helmet on other armor types and other armor cores. It's going to be really cool to see what that they can bring in with that, especially drawing from the Halo Wars 2 concept art, fan art, and in-game models of Omega Team. We also could see Mark VI return, everyone's favorite Halo game, or at least the most renowned one, Halo 3. All the different options in there could return to some capacity and exist as an armor core, and that's pretty exciting to think about, especially when you think of Hayabusa returning. If 343 can get the copyrights to that, Yorori Samurai armor and Hayabusa Ninja armor, that's going to be one heck of a competition, all right? Let's see how that goes down in a showdown. Hey, there's a machinima idea right there. That being said, one armor core I really wish would return, which is why I'm a little skeptical of them calling the Halo Reach armor just plain Mark V, which I would rather refer to as Mark 5B. I would love to see classic, the first, the original Mark V return in Halo Infinite with new attachments on the chest and helmet options, and it returning as a nice new 3D model with new textures. You can't tell me that does not just put a shiver down your spine. That sounds amazing. That being said, that's all what we can potentially see for Halo Infinite. Whatever new ones they want to bring in, heck, even ODST. They could totally bring ODST as like a armor core in the game. It's all up to 343. This game's going to go on for 10 years. We're going to see some pretty awesome crap get introduced in here regarding customization because of the armor core system. That being said, there's some stuff we haven't seen that we kind of wish to see, and I think, Scully, you have a few of them listed there.
That's correct. I just pondered on a few other options I'd love to see come into the game. Some of these options have been introduced into MCC backpacks like we've seen in Halo 3, except more lore-friendly instead of the sword and board. So just something ODST, maybe Marine, maybe something like we've seen with George. Left and right, wrist and thigh attachments. I'd love to be able to run into combat with both attachments on wrists and my thighs. And even some concept art armors. Mainly, like Fred Smog in the Halo 5 concept art would be really cool to see on Spartans. We really don't see a lot of clothing options. Not really clothing options. Yeah. We really don't see a lot of cloth-like options on Spartans, so it'd be kind of cool to see that come in as well. That's really all I have. Of course, will 343 add these in? We'll see, but we have 10 years. It's a really good chance some of these might be.
That'll wrap up this video. Make sure to like and comment. It really builds our channel up, especially as we begin with our first few videos. And subscribe for more awesome Halo and gaming content. Frag out.